very, very important, because we are actually not just devolving functions. We are also making sure that our esteemed governors are able to discharge their duties without the handicap of illiquidity. Honorable Speaker, also this goes a long way into reducing some of the unnecessary expenses, and especially that which are around interest rates, when, for example, county governments take overdrafts from commercial banks to pay some of the monies that has no luxury to wait, for example, salaries. Honorable Speaker, by advancing monies to our county governments in time, we are reducing on those kind of expenditure, and therefore it is something that is laudable. Honorable Speaker, again, just to repeat, the fact that this House is rejecting the proposed version from the Senate, this is just part of our job, and it is in no way, Honorable Speaker, trying to undo the work of the Senate. And I'm repeating, just because these houses have been working very harmoniously, we are just rejecting in principle, because there is actually no monies to add, because the appropriations bill is already passed by this House, and therefore we cannot then come back and then pass a bill that is proposing more monies that are not available. I have just repeated that 3 times to buttress the fact that this is just part of our work. We can reject, then we go to mediation, and then we are able to get a way out. With those many remarks, Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the members of the Budget Committee, the members of this House, our technical team in the Parliamentary Budget Office, led by, of course, Millicent, who is here, with Kioko, and all the other members who have taken part in coming up with this report. And with those many remarks, Honorable Speaker, I want to request the Vice Chair of the Budget and Appropriations Committee, the Honorable Mary Emase, to second.
Give Honorable Emase the mic. Oh, there she is.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Madam Speaker, I stand to second the bill, the motion, and from the onset, I want to say that the county government additional allocation bill is normally a very straightforward bill that is just meant to provide for additional allocations to the county government, either from national government's share as conditional grant for devolved functions, or unconditional allocations, like in this case, to provide county governments with additional funds collected from court fines, collected from mineral royalties, and also conditional allocation from loans and grants from our partners. As already been explained by the chair, I want to say that even as we prepare to get into mediation, I know that those who will find themselves in that stream should prosecute this matter with the urgency that it deserves, so that county governments can get money. But, Madam Speaker, even as we discuss disbursement of additional funds to the counties, I was looking at the report on poverty index, and I was saddened by how some of our counties are doing very badly. Busia is being ranked the 3rd last at the bottom in terms of development. And I'm foreseeing a situation in the future, in another decade or 2, where we're going to have a replica of developed world and the underdeveloped and the least developed. So as we appropriate and devolve monies to the county government, I want to implore the governors to use the money for the purposes intended for. If it's a conditionally allocation, it should be appropriated and used for the purpose for which it was intended for. So, Madam Speaker, I second this motion, and I want to leave there and give opportunity for most of the members to contribute. Thank you.
Honorable members, I now propose the question that the Senate amendments to the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2023, be now considered. Okay, I see the mood of the House that I put the question. Honorable members, I now put the question that the Senate amendments to the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2023, be now considered. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Of the proceed. Next order.
Order number 9, Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable, order members. You may resume your seats. Members, during this stage, we'll allow a few comments at this stage. So I would request members to resume their seats. Members who may want to say something or two on this, resume your seats. We'll allow Thank you. Members, we are now in the committee of the whole, and as usual, members, you know how it works. So let's proceed.
Senate amendment to clause 4.
Clause 4, Chair.
Thank you very much.
Just wait, just give a minute. I propose the question. Order. Order, members. I propose the question that the Senate amendments to clause 4 of the County Government Additional Allocations Bill be now approved. Chair of Budget Committee.
Honorable Chair, allow me, because I do not want to belabor the point and repeat myself again and again on every clause, you allow me just to make a brief statement. As I said before, the County Government Additional Allocation Bill emanates from here. Then we take again to the Senate. And if the Senate amends any of the clauses of the bill, then it comes back here. Once it comes back here, this House may go with the side, may go on the side of the Senate proposal, or we reject. But, Honorable Speaker, upon the perusal of the amendments as the Budget and Appropriations Committee, we made a decision to reject. And we rejected not because there is supremacy between this House and the other. It is purely on principle. Number one of the issues in consideration was the library services. The library services, there was money for 124 million, which had been appropriated for 33 counties. But then these monies were put at the equitable share because it's a devolved function. Then what happens is that when this bill went to Senate, then Senate is proposing, on top of the 424 million we had already appropriated, that we had a similar amount, then now to go to the 33 counties. Honorable Speaker, this House has already passed the appropriations bill. So the money that we are drawing for any MDA or county government is actually coming from the express authority from the appropriations bill. And therefore, there is actually no money to give in terms of addition. The second issue that we actually rejected is that, and this is the last one, Honorable Speaker, is that Senate is proposing that the conditional grants that we give to county governments, that they receive this money directly. So what usually happens, for example, the monies to build headquarters for 5 counties, is that there is supervisory role from the public works. So if we then set these monies direct, we are taking away the role of supervising from the relevant MDA. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, on all the 6 clauses, so that I don't repeat myself, we are actually against all the amendments, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, we are actually voting nay, we are rejecting.
Thank you. The Chair of Finance Committee.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. You know, without overemphasizing that this committee of the whole, ideally we could have dealt with the issue before, but that's water under the bridge. So the import of the voting of these particular clauses is that if we accept the clauses as recommended by the Senate, that means you'll be allocating the money, will be agreeing with the recommendations by the Senate. The problem with that is we already passed the appropriations bill. Now it's an appropriations act. So in terms of a double entry debit credit way, then you are allocating additional funds to something, but you have not provided for that money. So in essence, even if we were to agree with these recommendations by the Senate, they would be irregular and illegal, because unless, again, we do an amendment to the Appropriations Act so that we would provide this money that they are providing for additional allocation for this particular service, for this particular votes as described by the Chair of Budget. So essentially now is if this House, I beg that we agree that we reject these amendments by the Senate and therefore vote no to all those clauses.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Now I must allow this side. I'll give the Honorable Tuku.
Thank you, Chair. Whereas I agree with the Chair Budget in his language, he's very polite in terms of the fact that Senate is attempting to appropriate money which is not within their purview. The role of appropriating is under the purview of the National Assembly, and indeed, once appropriation bill is passed, then that's it. The only other thing, the only thing that Senate can do, maybe reallocating, redistributing, but in terms of appropriating, that is the business of the National Assembly.
Thank you. The Honorable Makali Mulu.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, 2 issues. The first one, Honorable Chair, I want to thank my chairman for what he's saying. I think if he had moved the House to that direction, we should actually have killed this bill at motion number 8 by voting no, so that we will not have no need for 9. But now that we are past that, Honorable Chair, because we voted yes, it means we have now to go clause by clause. What we need to do, Honorable Chair, is, because we can't do just all closing, say no. Just take us through the motion very quickly, clause by clause. No, 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 no. We clear this and we go to the next level.
Thank you. The Honorable Zamzam.
Mheshimiwa Spika, inatamausha sana chairman, wakati spika ameshazungumza akapitisha jambo kisha linaenda kujadiliwa kando liweze kuwa reversed. Hawa governors wamepata matatizo mengi sana na sisi tumeshuhudiwa, Mheshimiwa Chairman. Tukiangalia hata mafuriko, governor